It's the news many of you have been waiting for. Taika Waititi is officially out for Thor 5. After the critical backlash to Love and Thunder, Marvel is making a drastic change to save the character. In this video, we're breaking down the real reason Taika was fired, who the new frontrunner to direct is, and what this means for the new, darker King Thor storyline. Let's get into it. Let's not waste any time. The reason Taika Waititi was fired is simple. He and Chris Hemsworth both admitted they broke the character. Love and Thunder was a critical and fan disaster, and Marvel is now in full damage control mode to save one of their last original Avengers. The drastic tonal shift that Hemsworth has been vocal about wanting is the exact opposite of what Taika was delivering. So how do we know this is the real reason? The evidence is undeniable. This isn't just a theory, it's based on three massive clues. First, the film itself. Love and Thunder bombed with both fans and critics. The movie tried to double down on Ragnarok's humor, but the heart got lost in the process. Where Ragnarok was funny and emotional, Love and Thunder was just funny. The balance that made the third Thor movie work completely disappeared. The numbers don't lie either. While Ragnarok was praised as a creative triumph that saved the Thor franchise, Love and Thunder left fans feeling empty. The comedy overshadowed everything else. The romance, the stakes, even Thor's character development. It became a parody of itself. Marvel learned this lesson the hard way with Phase 4. They've been struggling both critically and financially. Look at Eternals. It barely crossed $400 million worldwide, which is a huge drop for film on that scale. That disappointment led Marvel to cancel the planned sequel and double down on safer crowd pleasers like Deadpool and Spider-Man. Second, and this is the biggest smoking gun, Hemsworth agrees with the critics. Even Hemsworth admitted that some of the film's tonal issues came from his own choices. He leaned too far into the goofy side and lost the weight of Thor's character. That kind of honesty is promising, but it's also damning for Waititi's approach. When your star publicly says, "We went too far," a change has to be made. Hemsworth has been vocal about wanting that shift, a story that pushes Thor to his emotional and psychological limits. After everything he's been through in the MCU, his arc deserves a real resonant ending. This isn't just about one bad movie. Hemsworth himself has teased that Thor 5 could be his final run as the God of Thunder. If that's true, this one needs to go out with a bang. The actor wants something that feels darker and more mythic, more fantasy than farce. Finally, look at who they're replacing him with. Marvel is looking for a new director, and George Miller has reportedly shown real interest. After working with Hemsworth on Furiosa, he seems eager to reunite. Marvel isn't looking for another comedy director. They're looking for a master visualist who can bring a darker and more mythic tone to the franchise. Miller's work on Mad Max and Furiosa shows he can handle both intimate character moments and massive spectacle without losing the emotional core.
So what does this new, darker Thor 5 actually look like? This new direction implies several massive changes for Thor and the entire MCU. This is the big one. This new tone finally opens the door for the King Thor storyline. One of the most exciting directions Marvel could take Thor 5 is by adapting this arc. We'd see an older, battle-worn Thor facing the literal end of the universe. As the All-Father and ruler of Asgard, he carries the impossible weight of keeping the last remnants of existence alive. His enemies this time aren't just monsters or gods, they're personal. His brother Loki has returned, stronger and crueler than ever, and even his own granddaughters, the goddesses of thunder, are ready to defy him in their desperate attempt to save what's left of their dying world. It's a story steeped in legacy, redemption, and the endless cycle of creation and destruction. It would make for a beautiful, tragic final chapter for Thor's journey, and give Chris Hemsworth the chance to explore the full emotional depth of his character, the regret, the weariness, and the cost of being a god for so long. Second, this new tone means we can finally get a serious threat, not another joke. This opens the door for three huge possibilities. A cosmic god. This is where the Arishem and Eternals rumors come in. Reports are pointing to Thor 5 landing in theaters around 2028, set after Secret Wars. The celestial Arishem is rumored to be the main villain, and the movie is expected to feature some of the Eternals. A war between New Asgard and the Celestials is the killer finale Taika could never have directed. A mythological rival. This is where Ares, the Greek god of war, could appear. First appearing in 1966, Ares is infamous for fueling chaos and bloodshed wherever he goes. He's the raw, brutal, and unpredictable villain needed for a morally great conflict that goes beyond simple good and evil. A noble successor. This also means we could finally see Beta Ray Bill. Fans have been waiting years to see him make his live-action debut after countless teasers, including the statue cameo back in Ragnarok. He's the noble warrior who would fit perfectly into a more serious, myth-driven story, symbolizing a passing of the torch that shows Thor's legacy will endure. Third, this new serious tone means we can get real character development instead of just punchlines. Take Hercules. We saw his introduction in Love and Thunder, clearly set up as a rival to Thor, but we all know he's not staying a villain. Their dynamic in the comics is pure gold, rivalry, banter, and eventually a reluctant team-up. Brett Goldstein and Chris Hemsworth facing off or teaming up against something as massive as Arishem or Galactus could give Marvel exactly the kind of spectacle it's been missing. The key difference is that a darker film can still have humor, but it needs to feel earned from character development, not just forced like in Love and Thunder. This is exactly what made Ragnarok work so well. The comedy came from genuine character moments and relationships, not from turning every serious moment into a joke. Hercules represents the perfect opportunity to bring back that balance, the wit and charm that made Thor fun, but grounded in real stakes and emotional weight. Fourth, this signals a massive change for the MCU itself. The MCU's direction after Secret Wars is still a mystery, but there's growing buzz that Marvel might start moving away from tightly connected storylines. Instead, they could focus more on standalone projects with distinct tones and creative freedom. This is a huge shift from the Phase 4 approach that tried to connect everything, but ended up diluting individual stories. The firing of Taika proves Marvel wants a dark, mythic, self-contained story to cap off Thor's saga. It shows they can still tell mature, character-driven stories when they commit to a specific vision. In that case, a King Thor movie would be a perfect fit. A dark, mythic, self-contained story that caps off Thor's saga with a grand, bittersweet finale. It would demonstrate that Marvel can move beyond the formula and create something truly special when they give directors the freedom to tell focused, emotional stories. Finally, this new direction allows Marvel to fix other abandoned Phase 4 plots. This connects back to the Eternals and Harry Styles' Eros. Still, Eternals left a ton of story threads hanging, especially the setup for a huge celestial conflict. Word is, those dangling plots might find new life in Thor 5. The next movie will reportedly dig deep into the cosmic side of the MCU, exploring gods, ancient powers, and universe-scale manipulation. Harry Styles' Eros might have a big part to play, with flashbacks revealing the history of Titan and even Thanos' childhood, maybe even how his twisted philosophy began. That's the kind of backstory Marvel can't afford to skip, and it's something Taika's goofy tone would never have been able to handle properly. A serious cosmic Thor film can finally give these massive concepts the weight and respect they deserve, connecting the dots between the Eternals, the Celestials, and the broader cosmic mythology of the MCU. And of course, the most obvious implication, a new director means a serious visual upgrade. The decline in VFX quality across Marvel projects hasn't gone unnoticed, and Thor: Love and Thunder was one of the biggest offenders. The CGI-heavy look and unfinished shots drew heavy criticism, especially after Marvel submitted it for the Academy Awards Visual Effects category. Many of the film's artists were under extreme pressure during the pandemic, working around the clock to meet impossible deadlines, and the rushed quality showed on screen. Since then, Marvel's taken steps to fix that issue. The success of Deadpool and Wolverine already started to rebuild confidence in the studio's visual department. With VFX artists officially unionized now, Thor 5 has the opportunity to deliver visuals worthy of its cosmic scale. The studio needs to prove it's learned from past mistakes, because if Thor 5 truly aims to close out Hemsworth's run, it deserves nothing less than a visually stunning, emotionally powerful send-off. A director like George Miller would bring the kind of practical effects mastery and visual storytelling that made Mad Max Fury Road a masterpiece. Combined with improved VFX workflows and proper time for post-production, Thor 5 could be the visual spectacle that Love and Thunder promised but failed to deliver. So, that's the plan. Taika's comedy-heavy tone is officially out, and a new, darker Thor 5 is in, giving Chris Hemsworth the drastic tonal shift he's been asking for. This is the change we've been waiting for, and it opens the door for a serious, mythic finale for the God of Thunder. If Marvel plays it smart, Thor 5 could reignite its entire cosmic storyline and give Hemsworth a proper send-off. By merging the cosmic threats and the mythology of gods and celestials, this movie could restore fan faith and carve out a new era for the MCU's cosmic saga. But what do you think? Are you happy Taika is gone? And who do you want to see as the villain in a darker Thor 5? Let me know your theories in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, be sure to hit that subscribe button for more content just like this. Thanks for watching, Cinerix.